What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to be doing maintenance on my new to me side-by-side. If you haven't already, the video right before this is right when I got this and I kind of walk over the machine and show you it. I'll link that down below in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to be doing maintenance on it. We're going to be doing the oil change, the front and rear diff fluid change, the gearbox transmission change, oil change, air filter, and I'm going to check the coolant level. The coolant's just a little low. The coolant looks good, but I'm going to top that off. I'm waiting on my coolant to actually arrive at the house. But other than that, I'm probably going to put the floorboard piece in there for the passenger side. I got that in. Since I got to take all those plastics off, might as well replace that. But let's get to it. I got a new air filter for the machine. Here's the oil changing kit. I just went with Can Am's oil. Here's a pump. If you want to know this pump to when you're using these gear oils, you can get this at AutoZone for like $13. I've never actually used this, so we're going to try it out. This 75W140 is for the transmission gearbox, and my machine takes 7590 for the diffs. I think in 2015 or late 2015 they changed the diffs to the 75-140. So just be aware of that. Mine's a 2014. It is still this right here. So this isn't really a how-to video. It's more of me learning the machine, but I will show the fill holes and the drain holes and what tool I use to get them off, and I will show me doing them. But this is for me more to learn the machine and do the maintenance and document it. First, I got to get the machine heated up, so I'm going to pull it to the center of the garage, let it idle. I'm going to go ahead and take the seat off and those plastics. So I'm just letting it idle and get a little warm before I do the oil change. The machine just hit 170 hours, and I'm the third owner, and I don't really know if anyone's ever changed the fluids, but we're going to now because I want to have that peace of mind and I want to know that they're all changed. Machine's warm. I'm gonna go ahead and take out the seat. There's a little clip down here that I'm gonna pull this way, unlatch it, and just unhook the seat from here. I'm actually pretty amazed on how clean this machine looks under here. I mean, you got a little bit of sand, but it's pretty clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. You don't have to take this off to do the oil change. You just have to take this off, but I'm gonna take this off because the transmission is down there as well. And we gotta take out this floor piece, and might as well take all this off. So it's a lot of these just plastic clips. Go ahead and get that off. I do want to check the oil real quick just to see what it looks like, because that is one thing I forgot to check when I was at the guy's house. You just get that buyer's vision where you check stuff and then all of a sudden you remember, oh, I didn't check this, I didn't check this. So I want to see what we're starting with here. The oil is full. I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of hard to see. It's full, but it's just a little dirty. So it actually really doesn't look that bad. So let's go ahead and change it. I got my trim tool and it's flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna go ahead and take off all these trim pieces, these trim. We'll start with this. Be very accustomed to this as a Can Am owner. I was just thinking about it. People said you don't have to take this off to the oil change, but it would be really hard to get to this filter in my opinion. I mean, you could come through here, but this thing is just held on by some of those back there, and I think something up here. And since I have to take mine out anyway, no problem. Let me see. The motor's, you know, a little bit dirty, but I've seen way worse. Messing with all those clips sucks, but I got this piece off. Here's the gas tank, fuel pump. Here's the oil filter. You can easily get to it now. Oil fill. Down here, let me see. There's a plastic 15mm bolt. That's where you fill the transmission. And right below that is that little bolt right there. That is the transmission drain. I think it's a 15mm as well. I think I'm gonna have to do it from up here. So while I have all this off, just knock out the motor oil and the transmission. So I'm coming under the machine here. I think the oil Drain is right here. So right here's the slot. Here's that. I think it's a 17 millimeter. That is correct. Oh no, of course, and it's not going down in the... Uh-oh, what was that? Spilled oil all over my driveway, or my garage. Well, I should have did this from the start, which that was my original idea, is put some boxes here to catch some of the oil splash, because that thing kind of sucks. And I did hear that clunk that fell out, but that was just the crush ring. I'm glad it was just the crush ring with that big metal chunk I thought I heard, because the oil drain bolt has magnet on there, and I didn't see any metal, so we're good on that. Now I'm going to do the filter, and the filter is the oil plug is a 17 millimeter. The filter bolts are 8 millimeter. So the kit came with a new crush washer, which I already put on the drain plug, screwed it back in. I think this is for the gearbox washer, I'm not sure, because it doesn't go here. Here's the new filter, only goes on one way. Here's the new oil O-ring, and I already have some oil on it to move it up. Let's go throw it back in now. All right, let's put oil back in it and see what we get. So it calls for 2.2 quarts of oil, I believe. I'm gonna start with 2 and then we'll go from there. I think next time I do the oil change, I'm gonna put like paper towels all down there, because these skid plates are very nice, but when the oil falls off the filter down onto them, it spreads out, and now it's leaking all on my garage floor. So, and missing the pan. So either need to get a bigger pan. Well, heck, anyway, I need to clean it. I've already been wiping it down and stuff, so that's awesome. But learning the machine as I go. So here's quart number 1 going in. Number 2. Start the machine and make sure we don't have any leaks. Good, I'm gonna let it heat up a little bit and check the level, see if we need to add some more. So it's hard to see because the oil is very clean now, but I'm right at that halfway mark right here. So do need to add the 0.2, so we'll do that and recheck it. And it might be hard to see, but I'm right on the money. All right, so the bottom drain plug I think is a 13 millimeter, but for this fill cap, little plastic cap, it's a 15. And here is the fill plastic bolt. Okay, so here is the drain bolt for the transmission. It was kind of gooped up in there, so I cleaned it, and then that copper washer does go on this. The transmission doesn't hold too much oil, so what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna run some of this. I saw a guy do it. It's not gonna use all this. So I'm gonna run a little bit through it and let it flush out and drain. and get some of that nastier stuff out. And then I'll put the drain plug back in and we'll fill it up. Before I get too far, make sure the fill for your transmission on this plastic bolt has that O-ring on there. Mine fell into the drain and I had to find it. I'm glad I found that because I did hear something drop. And then make sure your drain plug for your transmission has copper washer on it. That, like I said, my oil filter kit came with a new one, so it's good on that. So let's get to filling the transmission. I'm gonna probably, like I said, I'm gonna run a little flush through it. I had to get my little extension piece on here. I'm gonna run a flush through it, just kind of flush some of the oil fluid out, and then put the drain plug back in, and we're gonna fill it up. Sorry guys, this is kind of hard to film, and this is not fun to get to. Just like any other auto manufacturer, Can Am loves to put this stuff where you can't even get to it. So, all right, I think I got a good area to start pumping some of this fluid in. So, yep, let's get some of this fluid going. Oh man, of course. Came out, but let me see if it's draining. Okay, hard to see, but I pumped some fluid back in there and it is draining pretty clear already. So I'm gonna run a little bit more through there just to flush it out, and we're gonna see and put the drain plug back on and fill it up till I start seeing it come out of the filler hole. So, just filled her up. She is, let me see. It's full, it's leaking back out the filler. The best way I found to do this, put your transmission oil right here, run your tube in there and just feed it into the hole until you see it coming out. Now we're gonna put the plastic plug back in there and we're done with transmission. This is all done. I started it up, ran it, don't see any leaks. Cleaned up the skid plates. Let's go to the back diff now. Now the back diff has a filler bolt, hard to get to. There's an Allen right there. I think it's a 6mm, and I think the drain plug that is unfortunately right here in this little slot, I think it's a 5mm, but it drains into this hole and it's just kind of a pain to get to that. But let's start doing that now. Also on your diff, it's stamped. Should be stamped what goes in there. So mine says 75W90. So I got the correct oil. So always check that. I think, like I said, 2015 and up, I think, take the 75-140 like we just put in the transmission. Well guys, I have found how much of a pain in the butt this is. This is not fun. I'm probably gonna do what people do and cut a little slot in this skid plate so I can get Allens in here easy, because this is way not fun. But we are draining now. Very nasty. All right, got the drain plug put back in. Now I'm gonna just open the top and fill it up with some gear oil. The front is definitely easier as far as draining because the drain bolt is right on the bottom, I believe, because I just looked at it. So after I'm done with all that, all my fluids are changed, then I can move on to the other stuff. Well, nothing goes ever as planned to me, and I've learned that Can-Ams really suck to doing maintenance on. It's dark now. I had to run to town and get these Allen drivers set because I don't know what happened to mine. It made the job way easier. I just finished the rear diff. The diff that's the fill bolt. The fill bolt is all clean. It's clean. Just pumped all that in. The hardest part was that stupid bolt right there, which I said I'm gonna cut that hole right there. I'm gonna cut a little slot in it to where I can get an Allen key in there better. But now it's time to move on to the front diff, and I'm done with fluids. The front diff is way easier. The fill plug is right there with a 6mm Allen wrench, and the drain bolt is actually right under in this hole right there. So we actually have a drain hole for this one. This one should be really easy. All right, let's get this fill plug off. Whoa, yep, just hit my hand on the control arm. Awesome. I can tell these have never been done. This maintenance has never been done on this machine, because that is factory tight. All right. Washer is still on the plug. We're good. Well, my drain plug seems to be a 3/16 instead of a 5mm, so that's kind of concerning, but we will see. Yeah. Let me see if it even turns. Yep. That's the bolt size for mine. So someone's been in here, I think. So that fluid that's coming out right now is pretty clean. So maybe the front disk's been done before, I'm not sure. I can tell you that the back was horrible and the transmission fluid was definitely horrible. So I'm gonna let this drain, plug it back up, and I should be able to show me pumping the fluid back in here on this one at least. I gotta give, it's so hard to film this stuff by myself and show everything, especially the day I've had so far with nothing going right. So pick the camera back up when I'm plugging it back up and filling it up with oil. Up right here. And let's start pumping some in until we see it coming out. It's hard to see. I think the front diff was low in the first place, because it wasn't even coming out of the filler when I opened up the filler. Do I have run out? Nope. I'm kind of out. Is it running out? Can't tell. No. Cannot tell if it's running out or not. But I need to open the new jar, or the new canister of that. I can't tell if it's running out though. Alright, I just buttoned her up, cleaned it all up. Don't see any leaks. I'm going to go on a drive to the mailbox to get the coolant, come back, and hopefully we have an easier time with the, obviously the air filter should be easy, but air filter and just topping off the coolant. So, and hopefully we have no leaks after this little test drive, because I'm really concerned about this bolt under here. Man, something didn't look right on it, so I'm probably gonna have to change that soon. Well, it's the moment of truth. Drives pretty good, so we'll go back to the house and see. Let's check this air filter and coolant. So coolant is just a little low. It still looks good. Be careful with these air filter clips because I already lost one. Air filter, it's pretty dirty. It's hard to probably tell, but it's pretty dusty. Yeah, it's pretty dusty. Looks pretty clean in here. I'm just gonna wipe it down in here and put the new one in. All right, I cleaned it all up in there. It's all nice and clean and dry. Put the new air filter in. Put this top back on and we will be done. I got my Can Am coolant right here. And if you can see that orange down there, it's way down there. It's supposed to be up here. So I'm just gonna top it off. Well guys, I hate to admit, but this machine kicked my butt on the maintenance, but now I know how to do it, and I should be able to do it faster next time, especially when I'm not having to film. And I'm sorry if the film didn't come out too good. I was starting to get rushed and had to stop in the middle, blah, 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 excuses. But that machine really did kick my butt on the maintenance because Can Am makes it really hard to get to stuff. So I didn't get to do the floorboard piece like I wanted to, and I'll just say that for a different video, and I'll also try to figure out the headlight issue in that same video. But anyway, I got brand new fluids in all the diffs, brand new oil, brand new transmission oil, topped off coolant, and a new air filter. So now I feel peaceful to go on a first ride and actually see what the machine will do, and you know, see if there's any other little problems we need to work out. With that being said, I'm going to call it a night, and I'll catch you in the next one.